Project Management for the Masses podcast, episode 91. Today, let's talk about the PMI ACP program and the CSM, or the Certified ScrumMaster Program.
Project managers, have you ever felt like you should get that promotion or a better job? Start a business, write that book. Have you ever felt you were made for more but didn't know where to start?
Welcome to the PM for the Masses podcast with your host, Caesar Abaid.
Learn from the experts, think outside the box, have a voice, network, and be extraordinary.
PM for the Masses podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Caesar Abaid, your host, and this show is your weekly reminder that your career matters more than your job and that your life is a project and you are the manager. Whether you work for a company or for yourself, your job stability is really just your ability to land your next gig. So, join me in practicing intentional, planned, and value-adding relevance, starting right now. So, my friends, it's been a while. I really apologize. It's been a few weeks. I don't even know how many weeks, but it's been a few weeks since the last episode, and it's not for lack of content. I actually have some interviews that I've already recorded, and they're ready to go, but it's just been kind of crazy. Work has been really busy. I've been on work trips, many work trips since the last episode was published. There's crazy stuff going on with my book. I've been mailing them out, and I'm also spending a lot of time recording the audio version of the book. And to be honest, I've just been a bit overwhelmed. There's just a lot going on in my life, at the home front as well, with the kids and things like that. And life just happened, and I have not been able to publish episodes. But I'm back on the saddle here today, and let's talk about today's episode. And today I bring back to the show my friend Maria Mattarelli. If you remember, she was a guest on the show a few months back, and we've been in touch ever since. She's just a fantastic person, and she's going to be here in town again for some training, and I thought, okay, let's bring Maria back to the show. And today we're going to talk about the PMI Agile Certified Practitioner Program, or certification. I know there are questions out there about this certification. Do you need to have experience? Do you need to take classes? And she's an expert on that, so she's going to tell us all about that. And also we're going to talk about CSM, or Certified ScrumMaster, which is something I really didn't know much about the process of how to get the certification. So if you have questions about PMI ACP or how to become a Scrum Master certified, then stay tuned to today's episode. Also, after I talk to her, I'm going to let you know how you can get a copy of my book for just 99 cents, okay, this October. So the short answer to that question of how to get the book is to visit projectmanagementforyou.com between October 21st and October 31st, so for 10 days. But I'll give you some more information on how to get my book for 99 cents after my talk with Maria. So let's get started.
Special guest coming up next. PMforthemasses.com. PMforthemasses.com.
Good afternoon, Maria. How are you?
I'm good, Caesar. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to talk to you again, even though we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here. So I had to call you on the phone, but I can hear you just fine.
Excellent.
Well, that's the problem, because you don't have a home anymore, so you have to rely on Wi-Fi hotspots in places.
That is so true. It is a roll of the dice on where to get Wi-Fi, where to get a good signal. It definitely can be a challenging thing.
So share with us, where are you today?
All right, I am in Orlando, Florida, and I was actually here. They're having the PMI Leadership Institute meeting, and then Global Congress is starting tomorrow. So I was in London last week, and I flew in last night. It's only a 9-hour flight, and I figured I'd stop by and say hi to everyone, because there's a lot of other graduates from the Leadership Institute Master's class that I'm going to see here, and lots of friendly faces and good friends. So I'm just passing through Orlando.
That's very nice. Are you a past student of the Leadership Institute? Or?
Yep. So I attended the Leadership Institute Master's class through PMI about a year and a half ago. So graduated in 2013.
Very nice. I have a friend who is going to be there. Probably is there right now, from here from Canada, and so he was really excited to. So he told me all about that. That's pretty cool.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Very cool. Now, Maria, today we're here to talk about the PMI, ACP, and also Agile and Scrum. And because you're going to be here in my neck of the woods to teach some of this material on these topics, and we'll cover that after we talk about some of the principles here. But she will be here in November, so I thought, why not have Maria back and talk again about Agile and Scrum, because this is a topic that if you don't really use it all the time, like myself, you tend to forget what they mean, and a lot of people listening right now, they've heard the terms, but maybe they are kind of afraid to ask, So Maria, tell us a little bit about, so what is Agile and how does it relate to Scrum? What's the relationship there?
Yeah, that's a great question, Cesar. Agile is an iterative development approach. So when you think about a traditional project management approach, you're planning out everything from start to finish, going through requirements, design, development, testing, and implementation. And it may take up to a year, maybe multiple years, before you even release something to market. So with Agile, what we're saying is we want to iteratively develop something, and in a much shorter segment of time, have something of value to show to the market. Then we can add more features, continue to add more functionality to whatever our product is, and then release something else. So we're incrementally delivering value sooner. Agile is really more of the mindset, and it's the overall methodology that stands for these concepts of delivering incrementally and having a much more collaborative work approach, and then also constantly inspecting and adapting to improve your process. So that's really the Agile concept, and there's an Agile manifesto that was put together by a group of 17 software developers or people in that background around 2001, so almost 15 years ago. Now, Scrum is the most commonly used Agile approach. Scrum is a framework that is considered an Agile approach, and the reason that a lot of people that use Agile use Scrum is because it's pretty straightforward as far as there's 3 roles, 3 ceremonies, 5 ceremonies, and 3 artifacts. So
what's all that?
Yeah, so the 3 roles are the product owner, the Scrum Master, and the team.
Okay.
So you have someone that's constantly looking at what is the right thing for us to work on and interfacing with stakeholders, which is the product owner role.
Okay.
The Scrum Master guides the team through the Scrum framework and also helps to remove any roadblocks that the team might have. Then we want the team to just focus on doing the work. So there's not different roles among the team members like you have in a traditional project environment, because we just want to focus on what's the best value we can deliver as soon as possible, and let's all rally around in a collaborative way getting that done. So then the 3 main artifacts are the product backlog, which is where everything that the team is going to work on stays, and they just list it out in a prioritized list. Mm-hmm. Then the team says, what are we going to work on in this next short period of time? And that's called the sprint backlog, because they're sort of sprinting through the next couple of weeks to deliver something, which then gives you a product increment, which you have something of value to show to your customers or internal business stakeholders, and then get feedback. So as you have these activities, as you're going through this cycle, you have, of course, your sprint planning, where you're saying, what are we going to do in the next couple of weeks that can add value? Then every day the team is touching base to say, what have you worked on? What do you plan to do next? And are there any roadblocks keeping you from getting your work done? Mm-hmm. Then at the end of that time period, you have what's called a sprint review, where you demo to different stakeholders and show them, hey, here's what we accomplished in this last segment of time. And then you have a retrospective where the team reflects on how to improve. Now, the last thing is the team is always refining the product backlog to make sure you have the right priorities. Now, this framework, those are all of the core elements of the Scrum framework. And this framework is powerful because what it allows you to do is take a large piece of scope and break it down into more manageable pieces and get something to done.
Mm-hmm. So all right. So Agile, I guess, is the principle, and Scrum is the implementation of that principle.
Yeah, Scrum is one Agile approach. There's actually several Agile approaches. You also have Kanban, which focuses on continuous flow of high value stream items. It's also looking at cycle time, reducing how fast you have something that gets through your workflow process. Extreme programming focuses on development practices. So there's a survey done by Version 1, which is an Agile software tool company. And what they found is that 56 of companies that use Agile use the Scrum framework because it's straightforward and it's pretty straightforward to begin to implement. Now, it's simple, but it's deceptively simple. So there's lots of challenges you can run into. But when you look at even hybrid approaches, you have 80% of companies that use an Agile type of approach select the Scrum framework or a hybrid version of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's say somebody's listening right now and they work in an environment where Agile and Scrum is not used, but they're listening and they think, wow, this could be helpful. We could use this. If they are, let's say they are a project manager listening right now, but maybe they're not the decision maker in that organization to kind of change approaches. Do you have any tips for folks that are willing to try to start implementing some of these principles of Agile and Scrum in an organization that does not use it?
Yeah. If you're in an organization that is not currently using Agile or Scrum, these are some things that if you want to enhance your career, if you want to learn about additional tools and techniques that can make you more effective as a project manager, learning about Agile and Scrum can do exactly that. Even if your company is not actively using this methodology or this framework, that's okay. Because what we talk about is how to break down the work into more manageable pieces. So even in traditional project management, we have rolling wave planning or horizon planning, or we say, what can we do now? And then what can we do in the next phase? Well, what Agile will do is help you with some specific techniques that can help you in managing teams, having better communication, a more collaborative approach. And these are some techniques that you can apply no matter what methodology you're using on your project. Even if your company normally uses a traditional waterfall approach in project management, you could still leverage some Agile techniques to get more effective results on your project. So if you were to take it on yourself to learn more, whether it's online learning or go to a training class or even a certification class, that's something that can really add to your skill set and really your tool belt of techniques that you use as a project manager.
Very cool. Now, talk a little bit about the certification, the PMI Agile, the PMI ACP certification, and what is the process there? What are some of the requirements and how to get it?
So, as we all know, the Project Management Institute really is the biggest recognized organization in project management in the industry. So you have the Project Management Professional certification that a lot of project managers will have. They did launch the PMI ACP certification a handful of years ago, and that's PMI Agile Certified Practitioner. What that certification covers is using an Agile approach, an Agile methodology, and how you run your projects. Also, it covers specifically the Scrum framework and what you need to know about Scrum. It may touch on things like Kanban or extreme programming or even Lean, which are all other Agile types of approaches. But because Scrum is the most commonly used Agile approach, there's a little more emphasis there. But what the Project Management Institute did is they recognized that Agile is a methodology, it is an approach that is effective. And it is effective in a variety of different project environments. So if you want to demonstrate your knowledge and experience in this, becoming PMI ACP certified will show that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But the Scrum Master certification is not a PMI thing, right?
Correct.
Okay.
The Scrum Master certification is through the Scrum Alliance, which, very similar to PMI, it's a large not-for-profit organization, and it spans many, many different countries. And so very similar to the traditional project management certification, what they do is they focus on Scrum specifically. So Certified Scrum Master, which is often abbreviated as CSM, is one of the most requested certifications by employers for people that are looking to hire a Scrum Master, or you might hear the phrase Agile Project Manager in job descriptions. So if you're wanting to immediately get recognition for knowing the fundamentals of Agile and Scrum, Certified Scrum Master is a great way to do that, because what that is is it's showing that you get the fundamentals of that. Now, worldwide, there's over 600,000 PMPs, so Certified Project Management Professionals.
Mm-hmm.
For Scrum, the Certified Scrum Master, there's over 500,000 Certified Scrum Masters.
Oh, wow.
Right now, yeah, it's huge. It's really grown. And right now, there's still only about 6,000 PMI ACPs.
Mm-hmm.
So what this means is that if you want to demonstrate that you have understanding of Scrum, the most commonly used Agile approach, then Certified Scrum Master is going to really show that, and it's being requested in the industry for people to use that approach on projects. Now, with PMI ACP, that can still add a lot of value because that's going to really set you apart. If you have both certifications, it shows a little more diversity, and it also is great to set you apart from someone that might just have gotten CSM.
Mm-hmm. If you don't have yet experience, let's say, with Agile, can you get either one of these certifications, or do you need to prove experience?
If you don't have experience yet using Agile, that's okay. You can go to a Certified Scrum Master class, and if you just attend the 2 days and you're there the whole time and you complete all the learning objectives and what you observe and learn, participate in the class, and then complete a short open book, open note exam. So it's only 35 questions, and it's really just there to validate that you grasp the core concepts. Mm-hmm. So after you complete that short exam, you're a Certified Scrum Master. Now, for PMI ACP, there's a little bit more that goes into it to get that certification. So you do have to have a certain amount of hours and training and be able to meet that criteria to fulfill the application requirements. So what I generally tell people is if you want something that's very quick to demonstrate some knowledge, and if you want to learn the fundamentals, take Certified Scrum Master. You could still take a PMI ACP certification prep course and then work toward getting the hours. So even if you go through a course to prepare for PMI ACP, but you don't have the hours yet of experience to sit for the exam, that's okay. Because what you're going to know from that course experience is you're going to know how to effectively apply Agile, a little bit broader than just Scrum. So if you know those techniques, then all you have to do is then apply it in real life and on your projects, and then you can build up your project experience to submit the application.
And then there's an exam, right?
Yes. So for PMI ACP, the exam is a little over 100 questions. They do have some sample questions that are just to try out different questions that don't count toward your overall score. So I believe it's about 120 questions total, and 20 of them don't count toward your overall score. So you still have to pass with a fairly high rate, and this one is not open book. You have to go to a proctored location where they have the exam in a formal testing facility, very similar to when you sit for your PMP certification.
Very cool. Yeah, so it sounds like the PMI ACP, it's very similar to the PMP, in which you need to provide proof of experience and also contact hours, and then prepare for this exam. And while CSM is more a demonstration that and you've learned the concepts and you grasp them, as opposed to demonstration of experience.
Absolutely. Now, there's the next level after CSM, which is called CSP, and the Certified Scrum Professional is actually much more equivalent to the PMI ACP certification, because CSP shows that you've actually applied Scrum for 1 to 3 years, and there's a more intensive application process for that, where you talk about your experiences and projects and what you've learned. So I would say that next level of the CSP is more equivalent to PMI ACP.
Okay. Now, in the context of a Scrum organization, let's say the project owner, I guess the title is that person, because there's the Scrum Master, right? And then there's the team, and then there's the owner. So what is does the owner have to have certifications as well? How does that work? The product owner, yes.
Yeah, so the 3 roles in Scrum, you have the Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Team. The Certified Scrum Master is one of the most recognized Scrum certifications in the world, and there's also a Certified Scrum Product Owner course.
Okay.
Now, the Certified Scrum Product Owner course, often abbreviated CSPO, is really focused on what the product owner role is, and it goes so far beyond just core Scrum, because we talk about the importance of establishing the vision,
right,
also creating a roadmap, and then creating a release plan, and then looking at the product backlog. So it's a lot more in depth and a lot of things that I don't often see teams doing that are really important. So I actually really love teaching the Certified Scrum Product Owner class because it's just so important when you're developing anything to get that focus for what it is that you're delivering on a project. So the Certified Scrum Product Owner class is not quite as frequently done as the CSM class, but it's really powerful. And what I often see is you'll have an organization that will certify several of their project managers or whoever's going to be in the Scrum Master role, and then they often run into challenges because their product owners don't know what they're doing. So that's when usually there's a follow-up request that comes through where they're looking at getting Certified Scrum Product Owner so that their product owners know what's this role and how do you effectively engage with stakeholders and make that information available to the team.
Okay. So is it common for people to do the CSM and then move up to CSOP or CSPO?
So the CSM and CSPO are actually both at the same level. They're entry-level certifications by the Scrum Alliance, and they're both a 2-day class. Okay. The Scrum Master class has a short open book exam, and they both are essentially that entry level, but one's focused more on the Scrum Master role, one's focused more on the Product Owner role. Now, when I was a Scrum Master about 7 years ago, I was in the Scrum Master role for over 3 years, and I actually went and got certified as a Product Owner because I wanted to really understand what is this role and what are they supposed to do. Partly because my product owners were not very engaged, and I thought, man, I think they're supposed to do more. Like, what is missing here? So I personally wanted to get that certification as well, so I thoroughly understand what was necessary for that role to be effective, and I could help coach my product owners to fulfilling that role. And then I've held the product owner role since then.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. We'll talk about how to get this training, and you're going to be here in Southwestern Ontario here now in November. But before we give the details of that, is it possible to get some of this training online? Do you offer that, or is it just only in person?
If you're looking to get online training, I do have a full online course called the Agile Advantage. And what we do is we talk you through the core concepts, the fundamentals of Agile, the fundamentals of Scrum. We talk about it applicable in real life, so case studies, what are the benefits, what are industry researchers saying. And so I do have an online course available, but it doesn't count towards certification. So in order to become Certified Scrum Master, it is a 2-day in-person class, and that's mandated by the Scrum Alliance. And part of that is because a lot of Agile training is really hands-on, very interactive. We actually will walk through a project simulation applying the concepts that we talk about. So it's really challenging to get that full experience through a computer screen. But I did create an online course, but if you want certification, that's something that you would need to come and get in person.
Very good. All right, so let's talk about then the course you're going to do in person right here in London, Ontario. And for people listening right now, if you are not familiar with Canadian geography, we are, if you look in the map, if you find Detroit on the map, we are just a 2-hour drive from Detroit. So if you are listening right now in Michigan, that should put it in context for you. And if you think of Toronto, we are 2 hours west of Toronto. So it's just a short drive. We're also about a 2.5-hour drive from Buffalo, New York. And so it's a neat location where we are. So if you are nearby and you'd like to get this training, and then I recommend you take a listen right now. So Maria, tell us about that and when it's happening and what do we do to register?
So we're holding a Certified Scrum Master and PMI ACP certification prep course in London, Ontario on November 6th through 8th. So that's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And what's really unique about this offering is you get exposure to 2 certifications in just one weekend. So in just 3 days, we're going to cover all of the learning objectives to become certified as a Scrum Master. And then all you have to do is pass the short exam, which is only 35 questions, open book, open notes, and it's very straightforward. So you can leave right after that weekend and be a certified Scrum Master, having an understanding of Agile fundamentals and also Scrum specifically, and having walked through a project simulation applying those techniques. Now, all of the learning objectives for the CSM class actually help to support the PMI ACP content. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by talking about what are the concepts, the mindset, and then how do you apply this stuff in the real world. So we'll go through all of that just saying, okay, let's understand the content. Then on the third day, we're going to dive very deeply into what do you need to know now to become certified as a PMI ACP or Agile Certified Practitioner. So once you've gotten just the content so that you can apply it in the real world, then we'll talk about now what do you need to specifically know for the exam. And I really think that's a great way to introduce the concept, because I don't want to teach the course where it's just like, hey, here's what you need to know for the exam for 3 days or over the course of a longer period of time. I want you to understand the concepts and really be able to be effective in applying them. So that's why we use this approach. So on the third day, we cover the learning objectives, all the tools and techniques, the knowledge and skills areas for PMI ACP. So by the end of this course, you're going to know exactly what you need to know to become certified as a PMI Agile Certified Practitioner. And then after you complete the 35-question exam, you're going to become a Certified Scrum Master. So what's really neat about combining them is you get the best of both worlds. You get instant recognition as knowing and the fundamentals of Scrum and Agile, and being a Certified Scrum Master, which there's over 500,000 worldwide, and a lot of companies request that you're a Certified Scrum Master in order to perform that role. Now, for PMI ACP, you have to have several thousands of hours of experience and also contact hours for training in Agile. So you might need a little bit longer in order to complete that application if you haven't been using Agile. But what we'll do in the class is walk through in detail what you need to do to fill out the application and how you can get experience. So if you're not using Agile formally at your company, there's still ways to get experience and be able to submit the application. So if you're applying Agile in a project, whether it doesn't have to be for your formal job. It can be for if you're volunteering for a not-for-profit group. Perfect example, PMI. So PMI Flock, if you volunteer to run a project for your local chapter, right there you can get project experience using Agile, and that's going to count towards your application. So what I found is not everyone will have those hours already, but we'll talk about how to put together an action plan to get those hours. So you'll have one certification immediately, and then for the other certification, PMI ACP, that's a little more in-depth, you'll know exactly what you need to get it, and then you'll leave the class equipped. Not only that, but this course over the 3 days will give you 21 PDUs, so 21 professional development units toward continuing education, if you are a project management professional already, and also it will satisfy for the 21 contact hours that you need in order to apply for the PMI ACP certification. So right there, you've already met the experience for the classroom training requirements, and you just have to have the project experience that you add to.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, no, this is definitely a unique opportunity here. And as we talked about here, for you to get the CSM certification, you need to attend a live class. So you're going to have to go somewhere. And why not just go somewhere and also get the training for the ACP and get this overall more all-encompassing introduction and overview of Agile and how PMI sees it, and also how the Scrum Alliance sees it, and how it all goes together. I think that's a very unique opportunity, and we are geographically located in a place that's kind of interesting. So I think it's a great opportunity. And again, it's November 6th, 7th, and 8th, 2015, right here in London, Ontario, correct?
Absolutely. Yes, it is. And one more point, Caesar. The Certified Scrum Master CSM certification is one of the highest paying certifications of 2015. There was an article that was published online and extensive research done. And if people are looking to develop or advance in their career, that can be a really great way to do it. So Certified Scrum Master has been listed as one of the highest paying certifications of 2015.
Wow. Yeah, I might even go and do that myself, actually.
You are more than welcome to join us. And the cool thing is, you don't even have to be a project manager to attend the class. A lot of project managers may be interested in getting certified, but if you're a business analyst, if you're any other role, a project coordinator, if you're looking to become a project manager, this is a perfect opportunity for you, because what you're going to learn is how to manage and plan a project using an Agile approach, you're going to get certified as a Scrum Master within just a couple of days, and you'll have the core knowledge that you need to effectively plan and manage a project using Agile and specifically the Scrum framework. So as someone is looking to grow into the project manager role, now Agile is widely accepted by PMI as a formal project approach. So why not become a Scrum Master and get experience managing projects with an iterative development approach? So this would be really great for people that are in the Scrum Master role to add to your tool set and your skill set, and especially for people that are not yet in the project manager role but would like to become a project manager. You can start applying these techniques and get a role managing projects using Agile and Scrum.
No, that's a great way to look at it, and I hear all the time from people who reach out to me about the PMP exam and certification, and whether or not you need experience, and it's a long process, and you have to take that very hard exam, and that is discouraging sometimes. But I think CSM is a great way to get introduced to some of these concepts and also learn about Agile and get a certification. It's a great way to get your foot in the door of project management by having something to show for it, right?
Absolutely. And I really love this class combination because I just feel like it makes so much sense. We recently did this in Jamaica for the PMI Jamaica chapter, so I'm excited to be partnering with the PMI SWAC chapter and offering it in Ontario. And it's so nice because you get that quick certification with CSM, and then as you're looking to go more deeper into Agile in general and more higher level project management techniques that are considered Agile, you know exactly what you need to know for PMI ACP. So really the opportunity is so great to get that instant return and instant gratification, and then also know what you need to get to further differentiate yourself in the marketplace by having both.
Sounds wonderful. So Maria, I will add a link to the registration page for this event on pmforthemasses.com. So if you go to for the listener right now, if you go to pmforthemasses.com and find this episode with Maria Mattarelli from October 2015, you will see the link there. And you can also go to pmiswoc.org, and that's PMISWOC.org, which is the website for our PMI chapter here in London, and you'll be able to find that under the events tab. And Maria, if people want to learn more about you in particular and what you do and connect with you, where should they go?
Great question. So to learn more about myself, you can find me at mariamattarelli.com. Now, if you can spell my name, you can find me online. So I'm also very active on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo, Instagram, most of the common social media platforms. So you can follow me. You can learn more there. Also, specifically for the event, there's a very detailed explanation at formulainc.com/Agile Ontario.
Oh,
and that's
perfect.
Formula Inc. with a K. So the word formula, INK.com/Agile Ontario. So that's going to have all the details about the class, about the certifications. Also, we're going to have testimonials and experiences from other people that have gone through the training, that have, with it, and then a couple of sample videos to get a glimpse into past classes that we've done. So you'll really get a feel for what all is entailed, and then we look forward to having you join us.
Sounds good. I'm looking at the website right here, so there's all the information is there. It's very good. So Maria, thank you so much. I look forward to meeting you again, seeing you again here in London now in November, and stay in touch, okay?
Sounds great. Thanks, Caesar.
You are listening to the PM for the Masses podcast.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Maria as much as I did. And if you have more questions about what we talked about here today, make sure to connect with Maria on social media. She's really approachable. She's on Facebook, she's on Twitter, she's on LinkedIn, and I'll have links to her website and to her social media accounts on the show notes for today's episode, which you can find at pmforthemasses.com/91. Again, pmforthemasses.com/91. Now, before I go today, let me tell you about my book promotion. So this is what's happening. The book, as you know, if you've been listening, is available on hardcover, which you can buy from through my website and also through Amazon. And since the last episode was published, I also made the book available on Kindle. on Amazon.com. So if you have a Kindle device, then you know exactly what to do. If you don't have a Kindle device, you don't need the Kindle device to read Kindle books, in case you didn't know that. If you have a smartphone, if you have any tablet, if you have any computer, you can get Kindle books on Amazon and read them there. And this is a great thing to know, because there's a lot of Kindle books who are free from time to time, or they go on sale from time to time. And a lot of times people don't go and take advantage of these promotions because they don't have a Kindle reader. So, well, you don't need a Kindle reader. In fact, you can if you have an iPad or an Android device, you can read Kindle books on those devices. There are Kindle apps that you can get on your iPhone, for example. You can read Kindle books there. You can read them online, and it's a great thing. So the idea here is I'd like to, the book is doing well on Kindle, but I want to do even better. I want to rank a bit higher. So I'm running a promotion. So for 10 days, you'll be able to get Project Management for You, which is the book that I wrote, for just 99 cents. Okay, for about 10 days, starting October 21st through October 31st, 2015, you'll be able to get the book on Kindle for 99 cents. So what you do is you go, and there's more, but wait, there's more. If you send me proof of purchase during that time, or even after that time, I will also send you for free the audiobook version of this book. So if you're listening to this podcast right now, then I know that you like podcasts and you like audio content. So this is a great opportunity to get the audiobook and the Kindle book for just 99 cents. And the audiobook I plan to sell for over $20 when it's ready. So this is a great opportunity to get that for close to nothing. So the point here is to make some sales on Amazon, and I won't make much money on this, as you can imagine, because for 99 cents a piece, and Amazon takes a cut. So the point is not to sell a lot and make a lot of money. It's to just rank higher. And as it is, I'm already in the top 100 books for project management without me promoting it at all. So I'm crossing my fingers that it's going to do really well. And the way for you to help me is to go and get it on Amazon for 99 cents during this time. Now, all the instructions on how to do this, you can find at projectmanagementforyou.com. If you go there outside of this period, October 21st to 31st, you just land on the regular sales page for the book. But if you go there at the end of October, during this time, between October 21st and October 31st, 2015, I'll have a different page there that has step-by-step. Step 1, buy the book on Amazon. Step 2, mail me the receipt here. And step 3, receive the audiobook. So it's all in there at projectmanagementforyou.com. Again, to recap, for 10 days at the end of October 2015, you'll be able to get my book for 99 cents and a free copy of the audiobook. Go to projectmanagementforyou.com for more details. And really, this is what I had for you today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your patience. And I'll talk to you again next time. And until then, my friends, remember that life is a project and you are the manager. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you for listening to the PM for the Masses podcast.
Tune in next week for more great ideas on how to manage your projects better and truly stand out in your industry.
PMforthemasses.com